Bienvenidos amigas y amigos. Undead Unluck is back, and so am I. Today we are taking a look at chapter 191 of Undead Unluck. Obviously the chapter's not out yet, so beware of spoilers. If you're not a fan of being, fed the chapter before it's actually out, yeah, stay away from this video. Nonetheless, lo siento por la espera. Obviously I've been gone for a little bit of time. I meant to take a break and it ended up being longer than I imagined. And yeah, to not dive into semantics, I'm back. Let's do this. So chapter 191 is titled Topple Sparks, and I'm looking through the leaks right now, so we do have a kind of detailed summary of the chapter. However, we don't have a translated version, so I'll be looking through the pictures, looking through what they detailed for us, and just kind of combining this all for you all. We flash back to 3 minutes before the current quests were decided. The Master Rules are deciding who will participate, and Protect is disabled so they can leave. As a penalty, any amount of Master Rules can go. The minimum is 2, but God wishes for more. So this is intriguing. I'm extremely excited to see what the official translation looks like for this exact moment, just due to the fact that it seems like Protect is some ability which Andy wasn't using himself in order to hold back the Master Rules. We'd kind of assumed the fact that Andy was unleashing his soul to some capacity to hold back the Master Rules from leaving. However, Protect seems to be more so something, actually a rule, which is administered by God himself. A sort of, rule, a regulation, which all must abide by, the Master Rules included, so they're not allowed to just leave the sun and go wreak havoc on Earth, I guess to say. So as this rule is rescinded, the first seat asks all the Master Rules if they want to leave. Obviously, all of them decide that yes, they want to leave. They've been trapped within there for eons. Even if they were allowed to leave during a previous loop, they got scrapped and bopped by our girl Joey. So, the people are probably itching to get outside. Nonetheless, as Protect is lowered, Andy comes in and shoots them all with a soul Vulcan. So as I was mentioning earlier, this rule or this idea, Protect, seems to be something which the Negators and the Umas must abide by, because as soon as Protect was rescinded, our boy Andy came in on sight to fight all 10 Master Rules, something that our girl Fuko said she would have done and something that her crazier boyfriend apparently is all about. The rules engage Andy. Change cuts him. The old guy uses time defense to put a time lag on his mind and soul, stating that even a faded old fool like me wants to go out after a while. The army-styled rule uses genocide weapons to blow Andy's head apart. So obviously I missed this chapter just in my outage. However, the change vessel, such an interesting thing because people have been saying, well, are they going to be parallels to the Negators, the Union? But they're not going to be. As we see during this chapter, number one's not even death. This war guy seems to be war because he's using genocide weapons. It's got to be something relating to war. Change is the only one that makes sense. Time. So this guy seems to be past or time or something. Like, I'm so interested to see what Yoshifumi Gotsuka is cooking up with all of these Master Rules. And I really want to see in fine fidelity how these Master Rules are using their abilities within these chapters. Because Change is sort of interesting. I'm kind of getting the concept of her ability. Change has the ability to change anything to whatever it wants to be. But time, putting a time lag on Andy's brain, his soul, is such a crazy concept. Following this onslaught from Uma Change, the one I'm going to call Time and the one I'm going to call War, Beast thinks that Time's power will stop Andy's regenerating, so the chains will disappear from the Soul Vulcan shot earlier, but he is proven wrong. And this is just ridiculous. We are seeing Andy in peak form right now just soloing multiple Master Rules. These things which Fuko and the entire gang had so much troubles with that they were going to have to call in a goddamn comet in order to eviscerate it. And this is when Andy grabs Master Rules 2 through 10 with his chains, only allowing the first seat to swat the soul chain away. In this shot right here, I will be coloring this. Actually, I probably don't need to because somebody who's better at coloring manga panels than I will color this, because Yoshifumi Gotsuka has been dropping iconic panel one after another. Ascended State Andy? Is he becoming a god? What the heck is this? Like, look at that. He's got the soul coursing throughout his body. He's part god right here. He is Nier Automata. He's Adam Andy. God damn it. and this showing of absolute badassitude has garnered a little bit of respect from Master Rule number 1. The first seat is impressed that somebody like Andy believes in souls, and wonders who could be the cause of that. Obviously a cute little callback, he believes in souls because he had to. The one woman he loved, the one woman he truly is out here searching for, trying to live for, trying to go on for, almost died. As he's questioning Andy's ideology, he said it's time to stop the bullshit. He pulls out a soul sword and starts clashing with Andy. This is when Andy proceeds to pull out soul swords of his own and begin clashing with number 1. I don't know what to call him just because he's not death. We figure that out this chapter as I'll get to. However, I don't know what the hell he could be. Soul maybe? Uma life? I really genuinely actually have no clue what this number 1 Uma can be, and I love the fact that Yoshifumi is just flipping all of our heads upside down because there's no rhyme or reason that we can kind of attribute to try to surmise what any of these master rules are. And I really want to dive into this. Maybe I need to make an actual video. I can even just talk about it more in depth whenever Sunday rolls around and we get the actual translation of this chapter. But Yoshifumi Gotsuka's ability to build on the power system with the implementation of the soul, ever since Ragnarok, has been really beautiful. Even the subtle ways it started getting builded up as soon as Uma Ghost got introduced, Crimson Waxing Crescent Moon whenever he fucking uses the silver stuff to cut through Ghost / Nico. Even the fact that Rip, I never noticed this till a reread a couple months ago, Rip during Ragnarok, you see him, whenever he pulls up on Andy, right before Ragnarok, you see him pull all of his scalpels around him and he floats them around him like he's able to truly harness his soul and harness the ability of, just imagination, I guess to say. I don't know. The soul's a really cool thing, and I'm excited to see how Yoshifumi continues to build with it, because in this almost hockey-like way, hockey in One Piece getting introduced and truly becoming a trump card over a lot of other powers, the soul could really just make a lot of negators into the most broken individuals out. But back to the events of 191. The first seat is impressed that Andy can keep his chains up while using enough energy to fight him off. So the first seat unleashes a massive soul beam, which Andy meets with a solo rodo of his own. God dang, like I'm telling you, just expounded upon it. I'm not going to dive into the semantics. However, Yoshifumi is just so cool with the way he's doing soul-infused Dedo Rodo blood beams. Like, he's really the GOAT, and Andy's just that man. But this is that moment I've been alluding to. Whenever Andy and the first seat get into their every beam struggle, Goku vs Vegeta, beam blast, the first seat acknowledges that Andy is the strongest negator in the world despite not being his vessel. So, is this guy Ruin? Is this guy Life? Is this guy some concept which is so grandiose that the negator which houses his rule could be the GOAT-tastical man of the world? Is he the embodiment of Uma Crab? I'm genuinely just so excited to see it, because that also alludes to the fact that maybe we're going to get some new negators this loop. That would be so freaking exciting to see another negator, somebody else pop up, somebody who we don't know, or even maybe one of the negators who we do already know, gaining a different ability. Somebody like Top Bull Sparks. He already looks so badass with this new character design. If he came in and got like ungottable instead of unstoppable, I'm gonna keep going. I'll keep going. But with only 10 seconds left until the quests start, Andy releases Beast in language. So think back to the beginning of what we said. Only 2 master rules were the minimum requirement to leave whenever Protect was rescinded. And Andy only let 2 go. What I'm imagining is the 2 who he surmised we were ready to fight. Beast in language. Beast is number 9 already, and I think language might actually be number 8. I'm just not looking at something. I'll talk about that with certainty in the video on Sunday. However, Andy with a freaking smile on his face was on his badass shit this entire chapter. I can't wait to talk about it and go in depth into the actual art and whatnot that's going to be, shown to us. And that's one thing about talking about spoilers. I'm not going to talk about art necessarily almost at all, because I feel like it's doing a disservice to Yoshifumi Gotsuka, who's got some of the best art out in Shonen Jump, to talk about like leaked panels and what they look like. Like, it's fucking scans of what and whatnot. But as Andy obviously allows these folks to escape, they're going down to the earth. Julia Justicia has just joined the Union, and we're going to pick up Top Bull Sparks and the Favelas. Yu arcs in Brazil go crazy. If you've been watching the anime recently, I know you've been in love with the auction arc. This has been the best Undead Unluck that we've seen yet, honestly, in my opinion. Like, the most recent episodes, aside from sort of the pacing issues, which, you know, fucking, it's neither here nor there, some of the best episodes we've seen yet. Untouchable was so cool. Billy seemed like such a menace. You know, I never really thought about the fact that bro walked into a random auction house and just killed everybody. Maybe he was a traitor. Maybe that didn't make a little sense. Who knows? Dog, got so much random stuff to talk about. My apologies for being gone once again. I talked a little bit about the 2 color pages which we received for this week earlier. I'll probably put that here at the end of this video. But yeah, dog, I'll be back Sunday. I'll talk about the chapter and actually the art and maybe go a little bit more in depth. But then I also don't have to like go through the chapter step by step because I've just done that. See, we're all here. We're all happy. I love it. I love y'all. Let's get this done. 2024, our year. Let's do this. We got something to look forward to. Not only did we get the cover of the Weekly Shonen Jump issue number 8, but we have another freaking color page. Yoshifumi Gotsuka, I do not know how you do it. You've been on your bully for about 8 to 12 months, putting out a color page damn near it feels like every other chapter. This guy's a freaking killer. But the cover for issue number 8's really badass. We get a commemoration for 4 years of Undead Unluck, 4 years of tears, 4 years of joy, so much amazingness. And I love this sort of like Splatoon style we're getting. On Splatoon, during the most recent Splatfest, how was family not the winning team? I think Splatoon's a child's game. I would imagine it's on a Nintendo console, so I imagine, you know, the majority of the player base is younger people. And you're telling me that during the holidays, you all spend your time alone or with friends? Like, that genuinely doesn't make any sense. How is family not the winning? I'll save that for another video. But the actual color page we get for this chapter is really dope as well. It's a spread of the entire Union with Fuko in a beautiful little suit, really looking like a goddamn boss, alongside Andy, no remember card in his head. I can't wait till we get to see this dude with a little bit of skin on him, because as we got to see during this chapter, 191, this dude's still burnt to a crisp, but it don't matter. He's really that guy. He's in an ascended form, and he's really becoming a god. It's this guy. We'll talk about it. I'll probably put this at the end of the video just due to the fact that, like, I don't know, you guys probably want to hear about the chapter.